Hello, Internet! Welcome to the 74th episode of Stranger Damies, where a bunch of us first-time D&D players here roll some dice, make some mistakes, learn some lessons, and most importantly, we have some fun.
We learned the true
First
meaning
off,
of Christmas.
Dan, I believe you have some words to say.
Yes. Hello, everyone, again. If you like what you see here, and hopefully you do, you can follow us all on social media. We are at Stranger Damies on Twitter, and you could also follow all of our personal Twitter accounts. I am DAquino122. Tom, do you want to give out yours?
I am at Tom Schuster.
Steph, I don't know if you have one.
I do not.
Okay.
I am Jenny, JENNIE _ AQUINO.
Gotta change that.
Sorry.
And then, last but not least, well, not last, because you would be last. Ant, what are you?
I am at Ant Delvec.
Mark?
And then me, I am at Off the Mark Tweet. So feel free to follow me there. You'll probably get more D&D stuff with the Stranger Damies account. So
That is true. Also, I'm being told we will have a YouTube channel at some point. Mark is going to give us the link for that. You will be able to follow. It's tinyurl.com/strangerdamies.
yeah, and if you're watching this, obviously we already have the YouTube channel set up. So
You're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
You're in.
We're also available to download on iTunes, Podbean, and Stitcher. And we are also very proud members of Geek Vibes Nation. You could also follow them on social media. Twitter is Geek Vibes Nation. And their website is gvnation.com.
gvnation.com.
So they're good people. Very excited to be a part of that. They have a ton of awesome content, sports, superhero stuff, movie reviews. We are also, Mark, myself, and Ant are also separate part of that from Stranger Damies with They Called This a Movie. You can follow us on there as well. And that about does it for me.
yeah. So let's get into some introductions for the actual cast. So I will go at least my left to right here and have them just give a brief description of their character, just so you guys know what to kind of imagine while we're playing the game here. We'll start off with Tom, who plays Tiresias the Deceived, a blue dragonborn. Go ahead, Tom.
Yes, I am the rock for this group. I am the one who will keep everyone in line and get made fun of while doing it. So
So, any special things in your
you know what?
character?
You're gonna see real soon.
Yeah, that's part of the mystique.
It's really good
Don't
at
give away
flirting.
too much.
And then Steph, you are Latari, the Earth Genasi, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And just brief description.
So Latari is the newest member of what you will come to know as the Wild Stallynz.
For now.
For now.
Pretty much.
It changes.
But she met Zakara in her past and has recently come into the group. She has an obsession with herbal tea, which we will come to find out a lot about.
And then Jenny plays our high elf druid, Zakara. Jen?
Yep. So Zakara is a sort of typical high elf. She's the most beautiful member of Stranger Damies. She has a red dragon, Astaroth, who is currently not with us. And her pastimes include fighting with O'Craig, fighting with pizza tacos, and hanging out with Latari drinking herbal tea.
Yeah. And speaking over two buddy cop comedy guys over here, we have Dan, who plays O'Craig, the half-orc sorcerer, as his shirt says. He needs to wear that shirt to remember his class.
Yes.
So Dan, good.
Yeah, I play the half-orc sorcerer, O'Craig. He is not very smart. He takes after me. And I like to... I'm a bit of a lone wolf in this group. I don't really follow orders unless it's to set things on fire. And
That's why you guys get along.
And that's why Anthony and I get along. I'm very ornery. Not
Ornery.
Yeah, I'm an old man. I'm tough to get along with, but I do have a softer side. But you just haven't seen it yet. It's coming. I promise.
All right.
We'll see.
And last but certainly not least, Anthony plays our wood elf bard of pizza tacos.
Yeah, Pizza Tacos is a recovering drug addict
As most points are.
Like about a month into rehab, I guess. He is a reluctant hero, probably the most street smart of all the wild stallions. Is in it for himself, but is realizing that they probably would be dead without him, at least to him. And that's just, he's just trying to keep he is number one first, everybody else second.
Yep, and of course I am the DM. I will be playing multiple characters. They will all sound exactly alike. So just be aware, I'm not
South
good.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. So
Don't
just
comment on the way they say wooder.
Yeah,
That's my job.
yeah. That's the bard's job to keep me on my toes. Yeah. So basically, I will be trying my best to differentiate the characters. Hopefully, not have more than two in the same room, which will make it a lot easier on me and the players to realize who they're talking to. If there's a chance where I can go high and low pitch, I could probably do that, but nothing in terms of an accent. So, yeah, so we're going to get into a recap here. So now that we got all this out of the way, let's start our episode of Stranger Damies.
Theater of the mind.
So this recap's going to be a little longer than most of them because I'm going to do most of the stories to fill you guys in. So our group here began as individuals who agreed to a simple mission for Sildar Hallwinter. After Sildar fell in battle to the Black Spider, our fearless adventurers followed his dying words and contacted the Skunk Bears and their leader, Annie, at a bar known as PYT. They entered the town during the Chromatic Nights and are greeted by an odd fellow named Craynor, who was decorating the town for the celebration. He pointed them in the direction of the bar. During a debriefing, it was discovered that one of the members of the Skunk Bears, now renamed the Wolverines, was none other than Pizza Tacos' ex-girlfriend, Tribeca. With her endorsement, the party sets out to kill the evil dark elf known as Renab, who is controlling the city of Kymel. After some questionable negotiation tactics and investigative techniques by a certain half-orc and bard inside a brothel, they were able to locate a little bit more about Renab. This was after freeing a tiefling named Teddy, who was part of the Wolverines. They destroy Renab inside and find out that he is actually a vampire, and our paladin Dragonborn, the only one able to properly destroy him before he got back to his coffin, was able to do that. And then the party followed a couple clues they found and discovered a black dragon named Dreesum, son of the Hope Devourer, living beneath the city of Kymel. With the help of Astaroth, Zakara's red dragon, they defeat Dreesum, and they head back towards Neverwinter to let Annie know of the success. She suggests that they relax and just do some work, make some money. They take up a job by a shopkeeper named Venard Largefoot, recovering his missing supplies.
You got it right that time.
Yeah. I researched this for like 5 minutes last night to make sure I got it correct. And I saw Anthony out of the corner of my eye looking up to make sure. So after heading out to recover the supplies, their mission is successful. They are now known as the Rippers. And they return to Largefoot to get their reward. But they end up losing their dragon friend as Largefoot, in quotes, drops the disguise and teleports away with Astaroth while he is still in his elven form. And then just at that point, the Neverwinter is attacked, and they are saved by Craynor, who turns out to be a member of the Church of Bahamut and a high-ranking Platinum Knight. He helps them to escape the town, and then in the process of doing that, they end up defeating a lightning devil, and then discovered that the Wolverines were just a group of X-Class members. They also walk through a teleporter and find evidence that Annie is actually the leader of the Cult of the Dragon.
She is not okay.
She is not okay. And she has the plans to raise Tiamat. With knowledge of this in tow, the party heads to Zakara's old village to search for a device known as the Zyusorken. The group, during the ensuing the woman, the group, trying to read this while kind of looking around. The group saves a woman by the name of Ketris during her Thobies, and stages a wrestling match during the ensuing celebration. With the help of Ketris' brother Vakis, the group discovers the following. Zakara is the legendary protector of Exandria. Pizza Tacos is the champion of Melora and the protector's protector. Pizza Tacos' mother is dead. Pizza Tacos' his real name.
She was also poor.
And that they need to meet Barbaro to learn more about the Zyusorken. As they exit the cave, Vakis is revealed to be the Mirror Man, the arch enemy that they have been looking for throughout this campaign, in disguise. And he is a devil known as Titivius. He makes a deal with the group, now known as the Wild Stallions, to kill Annie so that he can help prevent Tiamat from being summoned. After their uneasy truce, the Stallions flee the area after it looks like the village has turned on them. Zakara suggests they go to Singorn to talk with her mother, who turns out to be a high-ranking official in the Singorian government. After spending some time in Singorn, which included attempting to kill a crime boss by burning down a bar, Pizza Tacos unwillingly having his childhood memories restored, learning more about Barbaro, and O'Craig meeting the Batman again. The Stallions depart for the Glade Pools to find Barbaro, but they are confronted by a zombie beholder. They valiantly fight off the undead monstrosity and are greeted by the Green Lanterns and a majestic centaur named Barbaro. He informs the party that the Zyusorken is actually a flute that calls friendly dragons to their side. He demonstrates the power of this instrument by calling forth a silver dragon who turns out to be the one and only Craynor.
Craynor.
So, Wild Stallions, you see Craynor shake off the dust and transforms out of his silver dragon form back into his half-elf form that you have come to know and love in this series. And he walks up to you guys and goes, "Well, I see you found it. Let's head inside. I think you guys will have a lot of questions." He walks over to Barbaro, pats him on the side, and goes, "How you doing, big fella?" And the two of them walk into the magnificent mansion that is right next to you. Wild Stallions, what do you do?
Can I open this beer? You guys.
I'm going to stay outside with the Green Lanterns.
That's got a lot of questions.
I'm going to follow them in.
You notice at this point that you cannot see them anymore.
Oh, okay, then I don't do that. Is anyone else tired? I could really go for a long
Not
rest.
after seeing a dragon just land and turn into Craynor.
I've seen so many dragons that I could really use a long rest. Hint, hint.
Well, let's go inside.
I'm feeling alright.
Let's go inside and maybe there's a bed in there.
Yeah, I definitely need to bed down.
We'll go inside.
Yeah. So you guys head on inside. As you get in, Barbaro sort of signals you over to that circular table that you guys had met with him before. Now that you're inside and you get a better look at it, Barbaro's chair is specifically made so that his human half looks like it's sitting at the table like the rest of you.
Notice eye contact.
That's specifically for Ant.
Sorry.
Barbaro snaps his fingers, and a servant dressed as a jockey brings some wine to the table.
It's
And
so
Craynor goes... Craynor looks at you guys and goes, "All right, where to begin? So I'm a silver dragon. I am part of a pact started 800 years ago between the metallic dragons, the prime deities, and a few choice mortals, which include the original protector and champion. We agreed to protect all of Exandria from the forces of evil, while the prime deities left the material plane and locked themselves away behind the Divine Gate with the betrayer gods back after the war about 800 years ago. There are four of us. We watch over the continents in Exandria: Marquette, Asira, Wildmount, and my domain, Taldore. We are a secret wing of the Church of Bahamut, and are only known to a few within the walls of the Platinum Sanctuary. Even those that know of us rarely ever meet us. Thankfully, our help was not needed until about 300 years ago, when a group of people became enthralled with Tiamat and attempted to raise her. We were able to halt that resurrection, and many more after it. And over the time, her influence slowly waned. And since humans have such short lifespans, it became easier and easier to hide the evidence of the resurrection ritual, and the Horn needed to complete it.
Okay. Question, Craynor.
Yes.
How long were you pretending to be the person that everyone hated in Neverwinter?
Probably at that point, 6 to 7 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was...
He was just waiting for you.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, essentially, I had went there when the Wolverines broke off from the Clasp, just to kind of keep an eye on them.
Okay.
You know, when the Clasp starts breaking up, you want to make sure that they're not doing it for evil reasons.
Gotcha.
So I stood there and kept an eye on it. Always in the back of my head, something felt weird, but I couldn't really figure out anything.
Okay.
Can
Question for Barbara. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yes.
You made us blow that thing, that Zyusorken, and now we have to wait 7 days, right?
Yes.
Okay. It wasn't like just like
A
we
free
got one
pass.
freebie.
No.
Okay.
No, you have 7 days to wait.
Do we know another metallic dragon, any dragon, besides...
Hopefully we don't need...
besides-
You tell me. Everything's just going right over your head. So
Can I just take a look around, see if I see anything
Yeah, roll a
interesting?
perception check. Or you're looking for something in particular, or just taking a
Just
look
anything
around?
that catches my eye.
Okay.
18?
18? That's pretty good. You see, as described last time, there's not much to it. There's like some hay on the ground, and there's the big circular table. You see the jockeys just running around in different colored, like, diamond, like,
Such a weird
shirts and
sentence.
hats.
The jockey's running around.
And they're just getting everything together. There's an upstairs, or probably, you would assume, rooms in here. But this seems like just sort of the central area. And you can tell by just looking around that it's mainly been Barbaro in here.
question.
Yes.
Those guys dressed in those weird, funny clothes.
Yes.
Are there races where those guys hop on your back, Barbaro, and run around a track for a certain amount of time?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Why are they in those weird clothes?
I like those weird clothes.
They don't
They look
jump
good,
on-
right?
So there's never a situation where those guys hop on your back.
What kind of situation would people ride on the back of a horse?
Bets maybe. Wait, well, you're a horse or a other thing?
Well, no, I am a centaur.
Right.
But that
the
is
other
half horse, half human, so
Okay.
I'm assuming they're not jumping on my shoulders.
thing. No, like on that, like that weird back part of you.
Yeah.
Is there
Never heard of
some-
anybody doing that.
Like toss a saddle on. All right. Never mind.
And Craynor just shakes his head because he's been through this many times before with you guys, going off on tangents.
It's just
Moments.
weird.
And he goes, all right, well, within our pact, we decided that when trouble arose, only one of us, of the four, would actually go and aid the inhabitants of Exandria. Unless if obviously the threat was too much, and Tiamat would be a threat too much, that all of us would get involved. The last time anybody has had to do anything was about 30 years ago, when Morget's guardian, Jamansa Ord, helped Vox Machina destroy the Conclave and prevent the Whispered One from becoming a god. Since then, we've seen an uptick in attempts to raise lesser gods, even the occasional thing to bring back a betrayer god through the Divine Gate. Even the former leader of the Cult of the Dragon, Santorum Myaxum, was a problem for a while. But he mysteriously died along with two of his apprentices. But I'm sure none of us here at this table know anything about that.
Why are you looking at me?
Now, it seems that Annie has taken over the mantle. And she is probably the most clever leader that I've come into contact with. she's kept me off her trail for about 6 years there. So I'm glad that, I actually got some help this time. Doing a solo investigation is kind of hard.
Supposedly she has this staff of destiny kind of thing. Do you know anything about that? It's got some...
Are you talking about the staff that just does elemental magic through it?
I guess. I don't know.
That's nothing real special.
Nothing special?
Not as far as I'm aware of.
It controls the elements?
What if she snaps her fingers?
It doesn't. Nope.
So, but this staff controls the elements?
I think it just casts elemental magic.
That's pretty special.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm super special,
we are
and I
looking
can't
at-
do
You
that.
are so special.
I am very
Craig.
special, and I can't do that.
We are looking at a centaur, so I mean, it's all
Yeah.
sliding scale.
and a dragon.
A guy who can become a dragon.
Dragon.
Or a dragon that can become a guy.
That way
Either
around.
Yeah.
So, with this newfound interest in most of the evil in our world, we've seen an uptick in false charges. Unfortunately, your father was one of them, and it took a long time and lots of reassurance that he was not involved in what was said and that he had no allegiance to the Ruiner. Despite the fact that he is an orc with evil tendencies, he was able to form an alliance with us in the Platinum Sanctuary about 25 years ago. Something changed around this time, and it made him more amicable to our way of protecting the world. So this time around, I guess I am your pull in case of emergency with anything in this world. And he walks over, grabs his Zyusorken, and goes, this flute's been around for many centuries. It is much more powerful than the individual artifacts that we usually give out to call us personally to your aid. With this, you can call any dragon that is currently friendly to you and is not evil. You may choose to meet the other 3 in our pact, but be aware, outside of me and Jaman, the other 2 live in not so inviting locales. To call a dragon with the Zyusorken, you will need to have gained favor with them, learn their real name, and I haven't really seen them in a while, so I don't even know what aliases they're going by. I can help you with at least half that battle. Over the last 300 years, I've really only kept in contact with Jaman, so I know his real name is Devosa, and he goes under Jaman Sa'urd, and that's
Is your real name Craynor?
that is the alias I go under. My real name, if you need to call me, is Ronayark. That is Ronyarc. So the best I can help you with is I can give you the real names of the dragons. I can get at least half the battle there if you ever want to contact them. I don't know what they look like now in their form like I am now,
Right.
or what their alias is. So you'd have to go to these places and sort of kind of do that own investigation. But the other 2 is Mox Ambrosa, the Unstable. He is in Wildmount.
Sounds like a kind of dragon.
He is a Mercury dragon, so I don't know if he'll ever go to his dragon form, but
Okay.
if you see a Mercury dragon,
It's him.
pretty sure it's him.
Okay.
And the other one is Odinkar, the Harley Quinn. She is in the Vesper Timberlands, as she is a copper dragon. That is the Vesper Timberlands is up by Vasselheim.
Is
You
that right
guys
next to
are
the
aware.
Justin Timberlands?
Yeah, just I don't know what you speak of. So, if you need me for anything outside of an emergency, you do always have sending spells and stuff like that to talk to me. Only use this, and holds up to Zyusorken, when you absolutely need to. As Pizza Tacos had pointed out, it does have a 7-day cooldown effect. So you don't want to pull the ripcord on this too early and then either get me killed and then you don't have a dragon ally for 7 days, or find something out later that you might need it more for.
I have a question, Craynor.
Yes.
You seem to have appeared pretty quickly. Is that typical? of us blowing the horn and then you appear instantaneously, or does it?
No, it's not instantaneous. Usually, since I'm usually somewhere within Taldore, so I'm not really that far away from you, depending my fly speed. So I could get over here pretty quickly if I am nearby. Depending on where I am, it'll depend on how far it is, but it wouldn't be, any more than probably a couple hours or so. If you happen to be in Whitestone and I'm in Amman, to completely across the continent, that might take a little longer.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's not any other questions for me?
I was wondering if I could actually speak to you in private.
Okay.
Possible.
Yeah. And Barbara goes, before that, looks over at O'Cray. Would you like to meet my friends?
Now I do. But, see, now I had something important I wanted to ask, but now how often do I get to meet my heroes? Yeah, I'll see him for a hot minute.
All right, Craynor goes, I will be here. I'll wait for you. All right, so he... All right, so as you emerge outside with Barbaro, at this point, you see the lanterns emerge in front of you. All 10 of them.
Are there any half-orc lanterns?
Yes, there are.
I want to go up to that lantern.
Yeah. So we, as you're walking over towards those green, as you're walking over towards the lanterns, Barbaro starts going. The lanterns here, they serve as guardians of law and order between the material plane and the astral plane. Their main purpose is to make sure spirits go through to the afterlife and do not linger around the living. They're a true enemy of revenants, which are souls that jump from body to body until they get the revenge on their true killers.
Okay.
So they basically make sure that, souls get to heaven. So you walk up, you see a, you see a half-orc, and as you walk up, you're noticing he has a strong, square jaw, a ring in his nose, lip and eyebrow. He has a single spot of hair on the top of his head that is now long enough to grow a ponytail down. Okay. He is missing part of his left ear, and his right tusk seems to be broken, leaving behind a jagged tooth. Roll an intelligence check for me.
Oh, yay. Those are always so good.
Good luck. 2.
13.
13. Yeah, you only thing you recognize is that he is definitely part of your tribe. But the other thing, as you get closer, you notice he seems to be a little greenish in color, not really.
He's more orcish.
Currently, no, he's not currently there. You can't see any color features of his body or clothing. He just has a green shimmer about him.
Okay. I'll take a knee and I'll say, it's an honor to be in the presence of all of you. I have heard tales about you and the importance of what you do, and I just wanted to thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel as if we have some intense battles coming our way, and I know you are very powerful beings and you're a powerful group, and what you do is incredible. I was wondering if you could bestow upon me any type of weapon or blessings that might be able to help us in this upcoming battles.
Yeah, and you see the half-orc look over at you and goes, Prince O'Craig, why, how much you have grown.
I'm sorry, you look familiar, but...
My name is Beringer. I was a protector of your fathers. I should have scrolled up. I saved him from a assassination attempt about 20 years ago or so. I took the fatal blow, but it made enough time for a couple of the other members of our tribe to take him out beforehand. So I'm glad to see that you're healthy. You look strong. Is your brother around?
He had to depart with us a while back. We got word that our father was sick, and I believe he is ruling in his stead. Or at least I hope he is.
Well, if it's any consolation to you, I have not seen your father in my line of duty.
That is good. I've actually just heard some news that I'm hoping to spread to our tribe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, as soon as I'm done with you, I'm getting right on that.
And Barbaro walks up and he goes, well, since we are probably all going to be allies here, he's like, I will introduce all the rest of the other 9 to you, O'Craig, in case if you ever need to call them for some spirit ghost thing, you know who to yell out. So he points over.
Is that the technical term, Barbara?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. I just sort of, you know, do the day-to-day activity and make sure they're all still doing what they're supposed to do. I don't really know what they do. I just need the fact that none of them go evil.
Typical manager.
No, quick question.
Yes.
I've also heard tales of other lanterns out there on the spectrum. Is that true? Is that...
As far as we know, it's these 10, and they are one of each of the good races.
You're forcing all DC stuff, aren't you?
Well, what I mean is in
10
terms
Green
of...
Lanterns aren't enough for you.
No,
the yellow ones.
yeah, that's what I was getting at. Are there other colors out there, or is it just green?
Only the green
I've only
that
ever
we're
heard
aware
of green. So.
Quit pushing it.
Yeah. So, here he goes. So let me begin with points over to the human. Slender build with long, thin hair and a wide brim hat. This is Emmanuel. Emmanuel was a farmer in Western. He protected a city from a roaming band of hobgoblins, but he was killed while delivering a final blow to the leader of the hobgoblins. And then he points over to the dwarf. Stout, long, pointed beard, and braids escaping under a miner helmet. Sort of nice, tight braids. This is Cian. That's a Cian. He was a miner in Craghammer. He protected a woman and 3 of her daughters from a man who was going to use them as a ritual sacrifice to the chained oblivion. He died while he speared the man off the mountain.
Excellent work.
He goes, thank you. I'm not going to give them all voices, people.
No, that's fine.
You got 2. That's it.
And then the elf comes over. This elf has very striking features, a nice short pixie cut hair, and a long flowing dress that just seems to flow behind her. You don't notice even feet. It just sort of, the dress just sort of flows down and disappears into green light. This is our most recent member. This is Kimmel, Kymil. She sacrificed herself to save a room full of young orphan elves in Kymil during the early reign of Renab.
My lady.
And she nods. And then it goes, and this is the halfling, and you see this chubby older woman strut up with shoulder-length hair. She protected 2 fellow halflings while they were headed to the Clefkeep Mountains to return an item of importance. She was beheaded by a great axe after battling a gang of orcs going towards the presumed inhabitable Neverfields. Roll perception check for me.
Oh boy. 2.
2. You don't notice anything.
Yep. I sure don't. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Kimmel.
Kimmel.
No. This
the
is Grimalda.
Grimalda.
And Grimalda is not saying anything, but now that you have turned your attention, you see she's just staring daggers through you.
I'm sorry. I wish that fate didn't fall upon you. Next.
So he pulls up. You see a little 2-foot gnome come walking up, jump on the shoulder of the dwarf, and stands there. This is he has a brushback hair, like down here, shaved on the side, just sort of comes down like a little faux hawk, but flat on the head. This one saved a group of musicians from a large half-orc they had stolen from. The group included a small gnome flautist that she had fallen in love with. Her name is Redknapp.
Redknapp?
Yeah. And then the half-elf, hair is pulled back into 2 tight braids. She is wearing a slightly less fancier dress than Kimmel. He's like, this is Amy. She was murdered by an evil wizard who has a skeleton-like face and used unholy magic to take over her town. She protected a group of townsfolk who were fleeing the town. And the fate of the town is unknown, but the people she helped save escaped, so that's why she's here with us. You've already met Berenger.
Yep.
And then the turtle walks up. She has a hoop earring in her bottom lip and has a general happy disposition, which is weird to see on a turtle.
Yeah.
But this is Throb. That's a T-R-O-B. She saved her brother and gave him enough time after he stumbled into the lair of a Balhanov, and she distracted the creature enough that he was able to escape.
Nice work.
And she nods and kind of just gives you a smile, which is really weird on a turtle. And then you see a dragonborn. Roll a perception check.
Whoop.
Oh my goodness.
Easy there. You missed.
15.
15. She looks really familiar. Like, you may have seen someone like her before. Walks up and goes, this is Zasha. She is here because she bought her son enough time to escape the encampment that she lived in after he had murdered the leader and his 2 apprentices, which included my husband, Ravox Gormoxon, and a dwarf named Yomari Oakenheart. And she steps aside. And then the last one is a about 5-foot tiefling. Sort of bops up, really excited, sort of full of charisma around you. And she's insanely fit.
Swole.
Yeah, swole.
Yeah, swole.
But she has a long sword strapped to her back, and her hair pulled up in a tight bun on top of her head. And he goes, this is Harmony. She led a rebellion against an archdevil in the city of Brass. She sacrificed herself to give enough time for the resistance to retreat and regroup. And she just stares over and nods at you.
Was that all 10? I lost
Yes,
count.
that is all 10.
Now, what about the Yellow Lantern?
Yeah, I'm not really good.
What are their
keeping
names?
track.
The Red Lantern.
Red Lantern,
And-
green.
And Berenger steps forward and goes, if you ever need our help with a spirit that is giving you trouble or is not going off to the afterlife, just call on any one of us, and we will come and attempt to help you. We cannot battle them in a corporeal form, so just make sure that you have destroyed the body before calling us.
How would I call you? Do I just say your name?
Just say our name.
You don't have like something cool, like a little ring or something, or
And he goes,
Pushing it so hard.
and he,
That's just from what I
and he
heard.
holds up the lantern and he goes, oh, you mean these? And you see
Yeah.
inside where the green flame is, it's just
Yeah.
a ring spinning.
Something cool
Inside-
like that. I would
inside
love
the
to
lantern.
have one of those. But if not, listen, it's all good.
Do you want to die?
Oh. Not now.
Well, that's the only way you get one of these.
Okay, well, I hope I do enough good deeds to become one of your members many years.
And he
from
nods
now.
and he goes, we hope so too, Prince O'Craig.
Thank you very much, Berenger.
Okay, Barbara goes, so do you want to head back on inside?
Yes, I
Okay.
think we're done here.
And you see Barbara do a little bow. It's just his top half to the lanterns, and they dissipate into the woods.
It's badass.
And then 2 of you walk back in. Before we get to what you want to do, do you guys want to do anything? Have any discussions or anything?
I want to approach Craynor.
Okay.
Real quick, Craynor.
Yes.
Have you been keeping tabs on Astaroth?
I mean, we keep tabs on every chromatic dragon that shows up. So yes. Him especially.
Have you seen him recently or heard anything?
The only thing we've heard and seen is basically that he is terrorizing the town of Stillben right now, and but doesn't really go outside the borders of it, which is good, because red dragons can tend to destroy towns pretty quickly. But yeah, he is definitely not the Astaroth I had met back in Neverwinter at this point. I don't know why that is. I'm not that smart.
In this conversation?
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure.
What are you saying? Can you hear? Is that what you...
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll perception to see how much you are hearing it.
Nice. Ooh, natural 17. That is a 23.
Yeah, so you're hearing every word that's going on. But they haven't...
Crap. Just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's even above, like, passive stuff, so you don't even notice he's listening in.
Okay.
So he goes, yeah, so, essentially, I'm just keeping an eye on him to make sure he doesn't do anything, terrible. Like, kill anyone. He hasn't done any of that yet, so that's good. Maybe there's still a little piece of him in there, but...
Yeah, I think he's being controlled, and if I was to guess, it would be Annie doing it.
I would imagine. Yeah, at this point, everything I've learned about her since our discovery has shown me that she is much more powerful than I ever imagined. And scares me that she seems to be at least close enough to starting the ritual for Tiamat. So, I don't know how much time we have left. If she's already started it, it takes 30 days from the beginning of starting the ritual before the process of resurrection begins. So.
Okay. Well, as you mentioned, you know a different side of Astaroth, and I just want you to know that he's still in there. I know he is. And we all came to the agreement that we would try to reach him and save him from this control that he's under.
Yeah.
And
if we're doing anything harsh.
And I stepped in and was like, just so we're clear, if he can't be reached, we have also agreed that we would have to do what is necessary.
And he goes, yep, I am doing my best to hold off the Platinum Knights, because our goal, and he looks off at Tiresias, who's off in the corner, is to, kill any chromatic dragons that we see.
Lean over and give Tiresias like a
yeah, you don't hear what he said.
And you're like, oh crap.
Just shrug because I don't know what happened.
She's like, she's looking at me for some reason.
Craynor, is there any way for us to figure out if she has started the ritual? What goes into the ritual?
So essentially, the ritual, you probably, without being with her, would not know the beginning part, because it requires the blood of a chromatic dragon. The stronger the dragon, the more likely the ritual succeeds.
Okay, so she's probably started it by now, right? Astaroth's a chromatic dragon.
Well, also
she's
the
had it
black
for
dragon.
several weeks.
Yeah. And then the end of the ritual is when the Drakenhorn gets played. And at that point, I don't know if we have not figured out if there's a way to stop it after that point. I mean, you can obviously kill her or send her back after she's, appeared in this plane. But that might be something to look into. Maybe people with a little more knowledge of it. But from what I know, once that happens, it's sort of like, all right, crack knuckles. Let's go destroy a 5-headed dragon. Sort of thing.
I don't think we're up for that.
No, we probably should have waited that happening.
Just to let you know, once the horn sounds, it does take a little while for the resurrection to occur. It's not immediate.
Right.
Thank God.
But we just blew that fucking Zyusorken.
Yeah.
So if she did this 25 days ago, we're fucked.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think
DM, how many days in
it's only been a
world
couple weeks.
has she had Astaroth?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, basically.
So 14 days.
Yeah, because it took you 6 days to get from Neverwinter after Astaroth got teleported out. Then you spent about 2 or 3 days in Singorn and the village.
Just checking.
So you're roughly a week at this point in the travel here and this. So roughly 2 weeks.
So we got about 2 weeks. So we're 2 weeks in from when she had Astaroth. Let's say it took her 2 or 3 days to get blood from him.
Yeah.
So we've got, that's 11 days.
Yeah.
We have to wait another 7, so that's 18. So we're okay. So far.
And it should take you
as
just
far as
about that long if you leave from here to get to Stillben, where she is at. maybe a little longer,
It's going to
depending
take
on
us
the
like a
route you
week to
take.
get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Because we have our.
I guess we know where we're going next.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we caught word that Astaroth had grown a lot more and is a lot more
Yes.
powerful than he was 2 weeks ago, which we're not sure how that's possible. Do you think she could be doing something to him to make him stronger for the ritual?
I don't think it's anything she's doing. From what I can tell by what's happening, and this is just a theory, if his father is who I think it is, he was a different type of dragon at the end. So, the only thing I can think of with my knowledge of our species is that if he by any chance had any kind of primordial blood in him, is why he would be much stronger than the normal chromatics, which is a little more of a diluted draconic bloodline than the original dragons that began even before I was alive.
Question,
born.
Craynor.
Yes.
In your professional opinion, let's say we succeed in this. What do you think are the chances of we succeed without having to kill Astaroth?
I honestly, without being on the ground in there, I would put it at 50-50.
50-50. Insight check.
Go ahead.
I want to see if he's telling the truth.
Go ahead. Roll inside.
It's a 16.
16. You can tell that he's holding back slightly because he's worried. He doesn't want to upset Zakara.
Okay.
Not so much that he thinks it's much worse, but he just doesn't know how to break it. So he doesn't want to, be too positive, but he doesn't also want to upset anybody in the group.
Okay.
And he is a man that likes a plan. So
You mentioned that you were holding back the Church of Bahamut from doing something about Astaroth.
Yeah.
Can you keep that going?
yes,
Until we attempt?
until he murders anyone, I can keep them at bay.
Okay.
But the minute he murders anyone,
Anyone, even if they're a bad person.
well, no, we would understand that.
Okay.
But meaning an innocent, at that point, it's a cross the line of no return for the Platinum Sanctuary.
So he's been running amok for 2 weeks, but he hasn't killed anyone.
No, he's from what we can tell from just aerial, me flying
Satellite
over.
footage.
It's satellite footage. If that's what you want to call me flying around nearby, yes, it's satellite footage.
Okay.
Is
I
that
don't know what any of that means. But I just,
neither do I.
I
You just
made
said the
it up.
word,
Just
and
made
I
it up.
just
Sounded
thought I'd
Sounds
go with it.
good, right?
Yeah, exactly. We should try to invent that.
Trademark.
What's
TM.
a satellite?
R.
So basically, he's just intimidating the townsfolk. Anytime someone wants to rebel against any one of the 3 districts, he's sort of sent in to quell it. Whether that's blowing fire nearby to rush them away, or just generally being a scary dragon.
Just swinging his dick around right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, he's basically doing that. I think Annie knows that any murder will bring attention from
So
the
she's
Platinum
trying to buy
Sanctuary.
herself some
Time.
time
Yeah.
in order to.
That- Yeah,
Get-
if I was her, that's what I would be doing.
Gotcha.
I don't want anybody. I don't even know if she knows that you guys. No, not to keep using that. Know where she is. So, she's trying to keep it as much on the down low as
They
possible.
don't know we know what they know we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
All right. So, Barbro comes in after bringing O'Craig in and goes, "If any of you want to take a rest, there. How many rooms would we need? I can make any amount of rooms up to 100 in here, so I can give you each of your own room if you want."
I'll take my own room, please.
All right, so that'd be.
Can I bunk with him? No, I'll take my own.
All right, so there will be 5 rooms upstairs.
Okay.
They will all be. I will make them all exactly the same, so you guys don't have to fight over them.
Okay.
But
Am
they
I
get you some rest.
bigger?
I mean, you can if you want to talk to the jockeys, they can bring you something.
Let's be honest, I need the biggest room.
That's true. He's a big
Yes,
dude.
yes, the rooms can bend to size of creature,
Okay, good.
but it would just be a bed in there, for sleeping.
All right.
I wanted to, when I get a chance, talk to Craynor.
Barbaro goes, all right. He's like, well, I'm going to literally hit the hay.
I get it.
Yeah. And you see him go off, and then you hear like a plot of hay go up behind,
Plop.
flop down. And Craynor looks at Craig and goes, "It's private,"
Yeah, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
and he pulls you guys off into another room.
All right. I just want to make sure no one is listening.
Roll
Can I try and
perception,
listen?
Yeah, 'cause I know he's going to try to listen. 18.
and then you roll a stealth.
Lucky.
Okay. It's first of the day.
Yeah. So it is a 15.
15. Yeah.
Finally.
You're rolling
Yeah.
really
So
well.
you look around and you start seeing a shadow come near the door from the outside.
PT,
Done
I
for
don't
this
like.
one time, I really just need you to not do this.
All right. Well, I gotta ask Craynor a question too. Is it alright if I listen? I won't tell anybody.
Not really. This is family business. Just wait
All
your
right.
turn.
Can I
I'll let
just
you
wait?
know.
All right.
It'll take 5
You can
seconds.
listen to what I have to say too. but-
I don't want to listen to what you have to say.
All right. I'm gonna take a constitutional.
Thank
so.
you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. You guys are
I think
alone.
we're alone now.
Yes, you are.
Doesn't seem to be anyone around.
You mentioned that you struck a deal with my father.
Yes.
How many? 20 years ago?
25 years ago.
And you have proof that he wasn't a follower of Grumish?
Yes.
I don't know how
That
to
is-
pronounce it in real life.
That is his real name.
Grumish.
But we in the humans in Taldore and Exandria call him the Ruiner.
Yeah, I was wondering, I know there's more pressing matters, but it would mean a great deal to me if you could possibly spread the word in our area and near my village that my father was not a follower of the Ruiner, and try to restore some good faith to our name.
Yeah, well, I will say one thing: he's doing a really good job at that himself right now.
Is he?
He's kept his word of keeping that dragon inside the sacred cavern.
Mm-hmm.
He's fought off a lot of hordes of lizard folk that have been trying to get in and free the dragon. But yeah, I will do what I can. Again, orcs and half-orcs don't really listen to a metallic dragon, so
I wish I were
I
there
will
to
try
do
my
it
best.
myself, but I
But
seem to have
I
been called
will.
for a higher
I will.
purpose.
I will put the word out there to people I know and see what happens. I can't do it directly because, well, they'll probably just try and murder me.
Can you try to reach my brother?
Yes,
The
I will.
people might listen to him.
I will see what I can do,
I appreciate it.
and I'll send word to your village and see if they can send you a messenger at any point to confirm that they got it.
You know, I kind of thought you were a weirdo when I first met you.
Yeah.
But you're all right. You're on the level, and I
Oh.
give him like one of the little,
He goes, yeah, okay. Well, I guess I did my job. If you guys thought I was a weirdo.
Well, yeah, you fooled me, and I am
'Cause
very hard to
that
fool.
was completely what I was going for. I was absolutely just trying to act like a weirdo. Not a weirdo.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, you do your thing. Pizza.
All right. Oh, I wasn't listening. By the way, I
Good.
promise.
hope
Now you
you
go
were.
away.
Totally believe
All
it.
right, I'm not going away. I'm gonna hide.
Roll stealth.
I told you you could listen.
I just want to see.
I'm gonna pretend that I'm leaving. I'm gonna do one of those.
Okay.
Stomp,
Might as
stop.
well.
I'll see you later.
Okay.
Yeah. 8.
24.
Well, well, even if you weren't paying attention, you notice as he tries to sneak out of the room while looking at you guys that he walks directly into a pile of barrels and knocks them all over.
These weren't here before.
I can see you.
I,
You can hear. Just come over here.
I'll just kind of.
Craynor, is there anything you found out more than what you're pretending to? Because I told you to investigate.
The only thing, and I didn't want to say it in front of the group, is that we have been keeping eyes on Tribeca.
Okay.
Currently, she's being held prisoner. They haven't seemed to do anything.
She's still
with her.
alive, though.
Still alive.
Okay.
From my judgment, I think Annie is just maybe using her as bait.
For me.
For anyone,
Okay.
I think. Well, she knows you guys are onto her, but I don't think she knows. It's sort of like, it's like the, card up her sleeve if you guys ever attack, is what I'm thinking.
Why do you think she thinks we're so powerful? Does she know our, the fact that champion? Or
no, I don't think she knows
champion?
any of that. I think she just knows what you guys have done and the fact that you've killed a vampire drow elf and a black dragon and many of other creatures.
We're
and
singing our greatest hits.
Yeah, and she's not worried because she's a little too narcissistic for that.
Okay.
But she just wants to be prepared.
Okay. And honestly, what are the chances you think that Astaroth's gonna survive this?
And he takes a long, deep sigh in and goes, I honestly don't know how we would turn him back.
Okay.
I'm not a cleric, so if there's any healing magic or anything like that, I am not aware of it.
Okay.
So, that's... if I'm you guys, and just my opinion here, I would focus on freeing Tribeca first before trying to turn Astaroth, because if anyone can help, it would be a cleric of her skill.
Okay.
So.
Don't you fucking tell anybody.
I was just gonna say we don't say a word to the she-elf.
All right. And we do our secret handshake if they're gonna come over.
Correct.
But it's there. It's there.
We kind of do the high five, and then when we go, we pass by each other,
We
the
do
no
behind
look.
the back.
Yeah.
High look.
And I kind of hit him in the elbow a little bit, but we kind of have.
Yeah.
You're working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so...
That's what I used to do in high school.
I'm assuming that everyone has gone to bed for the evening, or does anyone want to have any conversations or anything?
Long rest time.
All right, long rest. Everybody get long rest when you're at D&D Beyond.
Oh, look at that! I didn't take
Shameless plug.
I didn't take any damage in that for
Yeah,
intense DM.
Oh God.
I didn't get any damage in that that fight.
It's been a little while since. How do I do this again?
Just click your name.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yours.
No, there's a long rest button.
Mine
Yeah.
doesn't have
There
that. For
should
some
be a
reason.
drop down.
That was weird. Maybe it's not loaded all the way.
Maybe.
Maybe it's different.
Wait, click this.
Yeah, I did it.
It's at the
Never
top.
mind.
Weird. This is weird, guys.
Technical difficulty. Did you scroll all the
You
way
didn't
up?
sign in.
Oh.
Well, do that while we
Yeah.
move on to the next
Craig.
Oh,
segment.
that's fine. Yeah, keep going up.
We let
What
this
an
guy in.
asshole.
So, you guys awake in the morning, and you come downstairs. First one down before anybody else is Tiresias. As he comes down, Craynor sort of pulls him to the side and goes, "They don't know, do they?"
They don't know anything.
Sounds
Well.
so evil. Sounds so evil.
Well, let's just hope that nobody from that Annie's version of the cult remember when you guys go to meet up with them.
I'm a little older now. I'm hoping I look enough different that they don't recognize me.
He's like, well, you know the sanctuary is always there for you if you need it.
Thank you.
And he pats you on the shoulder, and as you rest of you guys are coming downstairs, you just see him exit, and then wings fly out, and he takes off, Craynor. So, as you awake for the evening, so what do you guys do?
I'm gonna try to get one of the jockeys to bring me some meat.
Okay.
Bring me meat.
Give me
So,
you a jockey. Bring me
Are
sustenance.
they called jockeys?
Yeah, I guess. Right? Didn't Barbaro call them jockeys, or did?
I just described them as
Oh,
jockeys.
okay. So I don't know that they're called.
You're
jockeys.
just basically saying, hey, you!
Hey, you.
And snapping the fingers.
Yeah, boy. Bring me food. Boy.
And he, and so one of them walks over to you and goes, how can I help you, sir?
What kind of meat do you have?
Have you seen videos?
Videos?
Sir, do you have any meat replacements? Things that kind of taste like meat.
Yeah, meat
but aren't
substitutes.
And then one of them laughs behind him. He goes, he just likes to make that joke with people.
Videos.
Do you want, what kind of meat would you like, sir?
Do you have any boar?
Sure.
I'll take
And
I'll take some boar.
And he just
Boar is okay to eat because they'll eat you if they have a chance.
Yeah.
so he just turns around, grabs a platter, turns around, and there's a whole platter full of boar.
Oh my god!
And puts
This
it
is
down in
awesome.
front of you.
Is that magic?
That was amazing.
Do you have any, what kind of sauces do you have?
And he snaps his fingers, and any sauce you can imagine
Oh my
appears
God.
around him.
This is
He
great.
really likes the elven sauces, so just get rid of the other ones.
Just Elvis sauce.
And I just start chewing on the boar. No sauce.
Typical half-orc.
And-
Not
and-
seasoning his
Yeah.
meat.
And as the rest of
Savage.
you come down, probably through the instructions of Craynor, he has each of you set up with an ale in front of pizza tacos, some herbal tea in front of Latari, and for some reason he put a thing of milk in front of Tiresias. I think it's a joke, and only Craynor knows. He may be the only one that finds it funny. And then, and the rest of you get some version of ale or mead for Zakar and O'Craig.
Sounds
So,
good.
so you guys are all back at that table. Barbaro seems to be, outside, or else this mansion would not be here. But he is not inside the facility right now.
He's out the pasture.
So I think we
It's
kind of
crazy.
have our path laid before us, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Did anyone talk to Barbaro or Craynor or the green people?
I spoke to all of them except Barbaro. I met the Green Lanterns.
Oh,
Yeah, one of them was one of my people.
really?
Yeah, saved my father. It's pretty cool.
So are they bad guys or good guys?
They're
'Cause
good
now
guys.
I'm confused.
They're all good guys. They all sacrificed themselves in a way to be called to a higher power. And you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I can respect that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was told that if we're having trouble with a spirit, to call upon one of them, and they will be able to usher them, kind of like ferry them into the afterlife.
Oh.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind.
Do you have their names or?
I have one of their names. The others I didn't really care about.
That's not
I not that I didn't
Yeah.
care about it. I just can't remember them.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, I know Behringer.
Okay.
Okay.
Behringer.
Everybody remember Behringer.
Mental.
But I think
Mental note.
I'll have to go back into the recesses of my mind to think of the other ones.
They're pretty deep.
Yeah, I have so
Cavernous.
much knowledge.
Oh,
It just flows through me. But other than that, I didn't really do anything of consequence.
Okay.
Awesome. That's surprising.
Yes.
Does anybody feel like there's a thing that we need to do before we... I guess we're going to Stillben at this point?
Yeah, we talked to Craynor, and it sounds like we're on a time crunch, basically, to get to Stillben.
Is there anything you need to get? Do you ever have any need to go get your armor or anything like
Yeah,
that?
don't we have like
I
a bunch
doubt
of
it.
stuff?
It'll be there. There's that thing under that mountain that we're supposed to check out. It's probably fine.
We have about 12 days, right, to
As
get to
far as we
Stillben?
know.
Yeah, but it takes 10 to get there.
Yeah, and
Save very much of
Yeah,
Jake's
we're
Yeah.
we're
our hand
dealing,
is forced.
we're dealing with the resurrection of Tiamat. So
Probably the
So
most
yeah, we
important.
probably don't want to leave that to like the last minute. Probably
Now-
just in case.
Because we could
They-
be off by a day and a half.
They-
We'd be fucked.
Yeah.
So,
Craynor did say that we could try to find the other dragons and have them on our side.
he said we can summon them.
Right.
Which
But
But we
have
have to
to
wait
find
7
them.
days. We have to no, we have
Well,
to
now
know their
6.
names.
Oh, I thought but don't we have
they
to be acquainted with
They
them?
have to be friendly to
Yeah.
us.
Right.
We need to know
We'd
their
have
I
to,
don't
names.
think we have
run
that
into
fucking time. We know Craynor. We know one
Right.
enormous dragon that can help us.
But not as DM.
Yes.
The chromatic dragons are much larger than the metallic dragons, are they not?
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know a big dragon,
But we can only
But-
summon one, so it doesn't matter.
but an army of dragons going up against a giant dragon doesn't
It
that
doesn't
give us the
matter.
best chance?
Whichever one we pick is the one we pick.
It's not all of them.
Because we have
No,
to do
we can only
it
summon one.
once every 7 days.
Okay.
So we only have
Unless we
12.
meet them in person and say, follow us.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, why don't you come on? We're going on an adventure. And I was like, oh no, actually our adventure is just battle.
Well, we wouldn't lie to the dragons.
Right. But I think
Since when do
Craynor
you care about that?
handles
Aw,
this.
Don't.
Craynor handles this area. So he's the only one that we would be able to reach in time. And we already know we don't need to.
Okay. I was just saying maybe having a bunch would give us a better shot.
That'd be
but-
amazing. Yeah. But the only other dragon we know is currently swinging his dick around Stillben.
Enthralled. Yeah.
Is there anything we need to do before we go do that?
Yeah. I have no idea if we're gonna survive this. This is.
In general, I don't think it's like, oh, let's go pick up like a potion.
Right.
It's just like, all right,
No,
we're ready.
I mean, is
We
there
have-
anyone that we could get to help us with the dragon situation?
Maybe my people.
How far is that?
Yeah. How far?
That's like
is
north, right?
Neverfields?
We're-
Yeah, you're
completely
probably
out
adding
of
another
far.
5-6 days.
We're out of our way.
Yeah. I mean, my father is holding back one. I don't know if he could possibly
Can you message them?
I was gonna say possibly message them and have them meet us at Stillben.
I mean, we can get the word out to people we trust, just in case.
How many people trust us?
Well, I can
We
reach
haven't really
out.
been making many
it's
friends.
really you,
Yeah.
not us.
Yeah.
I mean-
How many elves can help us?
Not many right now.
Right, they're
I mean,
under control.
I'll send a message to my mother if someone has the capability of doing that.
What about the Genasi? She's from a different plane. Do you know? Like, can you just snap your fingers and summon other people? I don't know how the other material
Not
planes work.
exactly.
Oh,
I mean,
know.
I do have. There's the 3 other
Check my
Genasi I was
spells,
with
see if
are already
it's
in
something there.
Stillben.
Because we took a long nap rest.
I feel like our allies are pretty low at this point.
Is there any word on Tribeca?
I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard she's dead though. So that's good.
Could she help us? Should we?
Well, we know she's captured.
She's captured, yeah.
I know, but if she's not captured, would she help?
We sort of know she's captured.
But he's
Shit.
saying
If
if
there was a way
we
we could-
freed her.
Yes. I would imagine
yeah.
she wouldn't want to be helping people who.
Yeah, she would definitely help
I
us.
feel like she's on our side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite
Is
the-
it worth
Oh.
it to try to go get her before we do this?
But
Isn't
she's in Stillben.
She's in
Yeah.
Stillben.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yes. Yes.
Try to
you're
like
saying-
sneak our
So-
way in
Right.
to get her first.
Yes.
What about Sylvester? Do you
What
remember
about
Sylvester?
Teddy and S?
Teddy, S. Sylvester, the other cereal mascots.
What's
like
cereal?
Tony, right? Wasn't
As in
Tony?
something happens
Tony was
one after
Toucan's
like,
Round down.
Oh, okay.
in a series.
That makes sense.
But we don't
A
have
series of mascots.
we don't have any way of reaching Sylvester that I know of.
We probably should have asked Craynor to spread the word for us before he left.
Let's just, well, we can't blow the Zyusorken.
Nope. I don't think that would be the proper thing
Can't
to
you
do.
send a
anyway.
message? Don't you do that?
I can send only so far.
Maybe my mother. I mean, she knew your father, right?
Supposedly everyone knows my
So
father.
maybe we can ask my mother to send out messages for us.
Can I? As I said, I was
Sending.
checking my spells.
Yeah.
Is sending a thing?
Yeah, message is just to a certain area. Sending.
Do I have
Can
sending?
go
I'm pretty
anywhere.
Sure I have sending. Oh, I do have sending already set.
I do not have sending as far as I know.
I also have sending.
Oh, so we have people who could do it. All right.
Okay.
So,
So-
who am I sending to?
Teddy.
Teddy?
Can we
Yes.
trust Teddy?
Who?
That's a
If
good
S
question.
is there, we can trust Teddy, I would think.
Should I just send it to S?
Sure.
Probably.
Probably the best bet.
Okay.
And can
And
you
my mother.
send? Oh, you've never met Sylvester. She's never met Sylvester.
Why are you so obsessed with Sylvester?
But because we need help.
He did come in at like very opportune times.
Yeah. He's the greatest archer ever, apparently.
What
No,
about my
that was
mother?
S.
Oh, that's S. I'm sorry. What?
What about my mother?
Yeah, absolutely.
Send-
You send to her
Yeah.
mother then,
And I'll send to S.
Okay.
All right.
and just
Tell
tell
them to meet us in
gather as
Stillben.
many people as
That they trust,
can.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Stillben. Prepare for battle.
All right. So
Are you making
What
fun
do
of
you
me?
Say, it's
No.
going down. Find all the people you trust and meet in Stillbend.
it's one word.
Tiamat raised in less than a week. 20.
Okay.
Nice.
And you see her all of a sudden.
Godspeed.
And she's like, Stillben, you say? Alright, I'll grab Teddy and the other Wolverines and see what we can do.
Did you get a response?
I did.
What'd she
They're
say?
grabbing the Wolverines.
Excuse me.
I hope we can trust
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Well,
that,
all we
find
have.
out, won't we?
that doesn't fill me with much confidence, but
Nope.
that's all we have.
Alright, and
So you get 20 words to
25
say.
words.
Okay.
25 words, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. So I'm like, Okay.
So tell my mother
Mm-hmm.
that it's you, so she's
Well,
not
yes.
confused.
I think
pretty
they
sure
already
she
met.
knows.
She knows.
Okay,
Right.
okay. Tell her to gather as many people as she thinks that we should trust, and send them to Stillben to help us. Make sure you tell her Tiamat. There's a chance that she'll be resurrected.
Okay. All right.
No pressure.
One.
I think it was alrighty. That's 2.
Ten, go.
Gather everyone you can trust. Tiamat might be resurrected. Send people and meet us in Stillben. Please.
Please. Gotta have a please in there.
You hear in her head, she goes, well, I'll do what I can, but I would have to run it past the higher-ups here to spare any troops.
Stupid red tape.
Yeah, that's always
But-
something.
Military.
I'll do what I can. Tell Zakara I love her.
So your mom said that she loves you.
Aww.
Aw, that's sweet.
That doesn't help us.
Okay.
Tell her I love her.
Don't tell her that.
No, I'm not gonna waste
I
that.
felt the thing.
There was no thing.
Gross.
You feel a thing all the time.
Anyway,
When you look like this.
she said that she can do as much as she can, but she'd have to basically ask permission if she can get anybody. But she
Okay.
will try her best.
Well, at least she knows. She seems to pull a lot of weight, so
hoping that works.
That's the best we could do for now, I
Right.
guess, right?
yeah.
We're in the Glade Pools now.
Yes.
So, what is the friendliest town closest to us? Do we know? Because we don't want to go back to your area. They'll
No.
jump us.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Not
at this
safe.
point, Barbara comes walking in, and he goes, trots in. And goes, hi, so, are you guys going to be hitting the road soon? Just to let you know, this spell only lasts for another hour or
I
two.
say, kicking us out already.
It's
huh?
like, there is a matter of the bill.
Yes, we'll be on our way.
So,
Question.
do you have any... Yes.
What is... We can't go back to... What's your town?
There's no going
Ether
back. We have to
Udren.
go.
Ether Udren. We can't go back to Ether Udren to get supplies or anything like that. Do you know... What is the nearest...
Well, the nearest town is Singorn.
Okay.
And
What's
then...
the nearest town on the way?
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, Singorn. You would
We
be
passed
heading...
by Singapore.
Yeah, you came south. You're south of Singorn.
We can't spend a day there though,
No.
Yeah, so...
No, it would
No
just be...
burning down taverns looking for drug dealers.
unless they're there.
Right.
And then you would next hit... where are you guys headed when you say on the way?
Stillben.
Alright, so you're looking to go east. He's like, so probably Amon would be out, because that would be on the western part of the continent. You'd probably... Next closest would be Kymel, and then... I guess Stillben and Western are the same distance at that point, so it wouldn't really matter.
Is that,
Kymel is on the way.
is that where your armor is?
Yeah, but it's
More
probably... If you're
importantly,
looking to go east,
Where the
it
Margrave
probably...
is. Maybe we could get something.
It probably
from them.
adds a day or two to your travel. Because you got to go a little north. But yeah,
So how long do you think it's going to take us to straight shot
Stillben,
Stillben?
probably 7 days.
We're kind of close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
we use all the help we can
He's
get.
like you can cut about half a day or a day off if and yeah, he leads you guys outside, and he goes, if you don't harm these, and he snaps his fingers, and 5 spectral horses appear behind him.
Awesome.
Barbaro.
Nice.
He's like,
These are his bitches.
oh, here's the thing.
Is that a technical
I didn't say
term?
that loud enough for anyone to.
If they get hurt in any way, they're gone.
Okay.
So they're fragile.
Yes.
Real fragile.
Yes.
Well, do they like listen to commands?
Yes. They're everything the same as a real horse, except they are basically not here, so the moment they get harmed in any way, they're gone.
But if I'm like, hey, get out of harm's way, it'll like
Yeah, they'll get out of the way.
and then
Yeah.
like come back when we're
Yeah.
done.
It's like a ghost.
Like a ghost horse. I haven't had experience with ghost horses. Is that a thing there, Tiresias?
Apparently.
Oh, I bet you knew. Okay.
All right.
Thank you for
so,
these ghost horses. Do they have
problem.
names?
You can name them. I just
Smarty
made them
Jones.
appear out of nowhere. So.
Smarty Jones.
Smarty Jones. Yeah, well, Smarty Jones.
Yeah. So we got Smarty Jones, Secretariat, War something.
Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit.
War Machine?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
or there, yeah.
It's not.
I want War Machine.
What are the horses of the apocalypse?
Pestilence,
pestilence, famine.
famine.
And War.
And, yeah.
I'll name mine
And death.
War.
And Death. Yeah.
Death.
So you guys
That's a little morbid.
get on.
Let's go, Smarty Jones.
Get on. So you guys are going to have to write down names of your horses because
I will
I'm
remember
not going to
Smarty
remember them.
Jones.
My secretariat.
So you guys get on your horses and you start traveling. You're heading north up towards Singhorn. You'll probably get there in less than half a day. So
To Singhorn?
yeah,
Okay.
you're about that. Took you about a little less than a day to get there before.
And Singhorn is where her mom is? That's that town?
Yeah, you like I said, it would. You would need to turn off. You would go up, and to get there quickest, you would have to go right through this roll and an intelligence check for the older ones, which would be Zakara and Pizza Tacos.
I rolled an 8. Not a good start.
It's a natural 3, so probably not great.
Did you touch our dice?
What was this?
Intelligence. Yeah.
You're sitting really close to me.
It's a 3.
Okay. Would your history be any more than that, or
Be a
no?
5.
Either of you?
Mine would have been the same for history.
Okay. You roll history. Is Tiresias. Not that I'm digging for a good roll,
Yeah.
but.
Natural 20.
There we go.
As you see them, as you're coming up the road, going off on this path, you remember that the quickest way through, and the reason people don't usually take that route, is through an old burnt-out town that was destroyed 20 years ago, or not, probably more than that, 50 years ago, by Thordak. It's something the Platinum Sanctuary teaches. It is also said to be, you don't know the direct origin, but it tends to be the hometown of two very important half-elves in the history of Exandria. So you point them in a direction that was like that way.
That way's probably the best way to go. It's the quickest. And it's through a burnt out town that no one knows about.
That sounds good to me.
Can we loot the...
There's nothing left to loot.
So
There's
you
always
walk
something
through
to
the town. To your left, you have a building that's all burnt out and crumbled. To the right, a little bit higher of a wall, but also burnt out and crumbled. And then when you get to the middle of the street, all of a sudden you hear a voice come out of the almost whole building next to you. And roll perception check, everyone.
Natural 20 again.
Whoa!
There you go.
10.
I like these
It's
dice,
just the new
Dan.
dice that I got. I got a 12.
20, not natural.
Yeah.
10.
Okay. So those of you above a 10, because he's not really trying to hide himself, notice it's a very familiar creature. And as he walks out, he goes, "I am Targ from House of Clark.
Oh,
First of his name, the Unwounded, Prince of the Bugbears and Goblins, Sultan of the Echo Cave, Breaker of Necks, and Brother of Blarg, Elf Girl and Elf Boy. I hereby sentence you to death." And he pulls out a scroll and yells,
Oh.
"Dracaris!" And all of a sudden, firestorms come down on top of all 5 of you. And that is where we'll end this episode.
What? Jeez.
Thanks for joining us.